Joy Taylor is out at Fox Sports. So it's not just Joy. Fox Sports canceled 3 shows. They canceled her show Speak with Keyshawn Johnson and Paul Pierce. They canceled Emmanuel Acho's show The Facility, which is no loss at all. And they canceled Breakfast Ball, their morning show. So Breakfast Ball was okay. They kind of revamped it. It just didn't work. There was no big loss there. The Facility, it was all right. I mean, if it's on, not on, I don't really care. So, listen, I'm not a fan of Emmanuel Acho. He annoys me to no end. Emmanuel Acho is so annoying. And he's not a bad broadcaster. He just seems like he knows everything. And for some godforsaken reason, these sports networks keep on giving them shows and think that we want to see Acho. I, for one, if I can speak for a lot of sports fans out there, we don't want to see Emmanuel Acho anymore. Let him go. Just let him go. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care about him. We don't care about Shady McCoy. Just go away. Go away. So let's talk about Speak. Before I get to Joy Taylor, let's talk about, so Keyshawn. I like Keyshawn. I think Keyshawn actually is a pretty decent football analyst. I think he might be better on the radio. I think if you give him a drive time slot on the radio talking sports, I think Keyshawn's good. I think he's good if he's on the NFL network, and maybe that's the way where he should go. Keyshawn is fine, so I think Keyshawn will land on his feet. Paul Pierce, I don't think Paul Pierce cares if he's on another network again, because he's building his own little online media empire on his own. Because he has his show with Kevin Garnett. They got a great basketball show, man. And it's more Kevin and Paul. Like, Paul's fine, but Kevin Garnett, he got one of the best basketball. When it comes to like basketball analysis, he's like one of the best out there. If he's almost like, if Charles Barkley is like number 1 right now, KG's number 2. But Paul's good on that. They're good together as a tandem. So check that out on YouTube. I forget what it's called, but man, it's a fantastic show. And now Paul recently, he launched his own like relationship type podcast on YouTube. And it's actually interesting because Joy was on there. Joy Taylor was on there. Dr. Cheyenne. We still don't know if she's a real doctor or not. She was on there. But Paul is like talking to like a reformed pimp. Paul is like giving you game, man, dressed in a silk robe. Like, it's so good. So I think for Paul Pierce, I think the best thing ever happened to Paul Pierce is when he got fired from ESPN. Because then he really started focusing on online. And that's where he should be. Now, if he gets hired by an NBA, if he somehow ESPN rehires him, which I doubt, that's fine. If he goes to NBA TV, that's fine. But to be honest, I think Paul Pierce's future is really online. I think he's great for YouTube and podcasts. I think that's what Paul Pierce needs to be, so he can be totally himself. So shout out to Paul Pierce. Now let's talk about Joy Taylor. The great philosopher Kevin Samuels once said, "Winter is coming." And winter is coming for Joy Taylor because she still has this looming sexual harassment lawsuit that she's involved in. You have the hairdresser that's suing Fox Sports, which was then led by Charlie Dixon, the dude that allegedly Joy Taylor was messing around with, and Joy Taylor's mixed up in this lawsuit by the hairdresser. So if you're ESPN, NBC, ABC, whomever, do you really want Joy Taylor around given this lawsuit? Like, that's the reason they bounced Shannon Sharpe from ESPN. He's still under contract on the ESPN, but he hasn't been on First Take forever. The interesting thing about Shannon is that he went to court a couple of weeks ago, and he showed up, and his defense team showed up, but the woman who is suing him and her lawyer, Tony Busby, did not show up. And Shannon's team is now they applied to get that case thrown out. Now, if they get the case thrown out, I don't know if ESPN will bring him back. But it would be interesting if Fox Sports said, listen, people love Shannon on First Take with Skip. In fact, a lot of people love Shannon more than they love Skip. I wonder if down the road, maybe not this year, but I do wonder down the road, would Fox Sports come back to Shannon and say, hey, man, we know your case got thrown out. People still, people still love you, because Club Shay Shay is still doing well, and Nightcap with Ocho Cinco on YouTube are both doing well. So the real fans have not left Shannon Sharpe. He might have lost First Take for now, But Nightcap and Club Shay Shay are still doing well. He didn't drop. His popularity didn't drop at all. If I'm Fox Sports down the road, I might come back to Shannon and ask him to come up with a new show. So we'll see how that goes. But for Joy Taylor, she's still in the middle of this lawsuit. They haven't gone to court yet. And let's be honest, man. Joy's hot. I'm not going to sit here and pretend she's not. She's a beautifully built, just a beautiful woman. But if you're talking like, is she great in sports takes? No. Like, is she the second coming of Andrea Kramer? No. Joy's not a reporter. Joy reads the teleprompter well. Joy has her takes. But you could find anybody else to do that job. There's nothing special about Joy Taylor outside of her looks. And no offense to Joy. You know, if Joy Taylor, hey, you want to go on a date? I'll go out with Joy. I would say, oh, no, I can't go out. No, absolutely, I'll go out with Joy Taylor. But as far as like being a sports analyst, no. So if you're NBC, CBS, ESPN, Peacock, and you're looking to fill slots, can you find another Joy Taylor? Absolutely. Do you need Joy Taylor? No. Now, Joy Taylor, also like Paul Pierce, she has her own podcast on YouTube, and you know that's doing okay. But and she'll probably, if I'm her, I will probably double down and kind of, you know, do more stuff on YouTube. Maybe FanDuel might reach out to her. Like FanDuel, I think maybe doesn't care, so she might end up over at FanDuel. So they might, you know, that might be a slot for her, and that might actually be a good slot for her. But as far as like ESPN and all these networks, I think that's out. But FanDuel might say, hey, you know, because they got Kay Adams over there. I think they had Michelle Beadle over there. So they probably do need more women over there. So maybe Joy Taylor might fit over there. You know, that might work out for her over there. But as far as like ESPN and some of these other platforms, I think she's done, especially with this lawsuit hanging over her. So what do you guys think? Of all these shows, are you going to miss, if you still watch Fox Sports, are you going to miss Speak, The Facility, or Breakfast Ball? I know I'm not. And again, Chris Broussard and Nick Wright, they're still, you know, their show's still doing well, so they're safe. And most importantly, Colin Cowherd is still there. Again, I said this before. If I'm Fox Sports, I'm asking Colin Cowherd, do you want to run this network? Unfortunately for them, Cowherd has moving back to Chicago. So he's not even going to be in LA. And Fox Sports is based in LA. So I don't know if Colin even want to do that. But if I'm them, I'm asking Cowherd, hey, at least give us an idea or concepts of shows that we can put on the air. Because they have outside of Broussard and Nick Wright and Cowherd, they have been horrible about creating shows. Shannon and Skip, they were great for a while, but then Skip kept on just going off the rails, and you know Skip's done. So they need help over there. So if you were over at Fox Sports 1, what would you do? Who would you give shows to? What type of shows would you do? I think Jason Whitlock, and I'm not a fan of Jason Whitlock, but I think he said something about All the Smoke. That podcast, those guys might go over to Fox Sports. So we'll see. There's tons of podcasts out there that you can maybe turn those podcasts into TV shows, like The Pivot. So maybe that's what they'll do now. Maybe they might start licensing out these podcasts or these YouTube shows that's actually working, and bring them over to Fox Sports. I don't know. So what do you guys think? What do you think about these shows being canceled? And what do you think about Joy Taylor? You know, regardless of how hot you think she is, if you were a network, would you hire her, given this lawsuit is still hanging over their head? Would you hire her, even though most of her sports takes are terrible? Yeah, she's great eye candy, but do you want the headache? Do you want to? And like I said, I think FanDuel might be a good spot for her. And I think, and to be honest, I think she would do well with her podcast, and if she has a sports podcast, I think she'll do fine. But her network days, I think they're over right now.